Cool. I'm good at that.
And hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we are going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is a sponsored game by RPG Crate. Every month they send out their awesome crates full of RPG related materials, books, adventure stuff, as well as all kinds of other awesome things that you can use for your game. The game that I run each month is using their material streamlined to try and fit into the time that I have allowed. But each adventure that they have comes via multiple cards that have maps, awesome storyline, and is enough to fill one or two full sessions worth, depending upon how much you want to stretch out and role play. It's really great stuff. As I said, it comes with maps, comes with unique monsters. And, I'm going to toss it off to our players. They're going to let you know who they are, who they're playing, if they got something going on, where you can find them. So I'm going to throw it over to you, Mike.
I am playing Thorn, the Ghostwise Halfling, Swamp Druid. Asa? Might as well just go down the list.
Might as well. All right, I am playing. I'm playing Eli, and he is a berserker barbarian and a gnome, and a very intellectual gnome at that.
With a great beard.
With a great beard, yeah. So hopefully his namesake will be watching this stream at some point.
Jake.
I am Jake from Mini Terrain Domain. I am playing Turkleton, the Sverfneblin Ranger Monster Slayer. I'm going to see if I can keep saying his name and get Mike to stop laughing every time I see his name.
Ego!
And last but not least, Megan.
I am author Megan R. Miller. I am playing Drusty Irthos, a kobold with pale violet scales and a timid demeanor. Even as we speak, I am wringing my tail in my clawed little hands, though my beetle black eyes are the only part of me that betray my dagger-sharp mind.
Awesome. So before we jump in, if you want to sign up for RPG Crate and get that delivered to you each month, there is a link down in the description below, as well as the ability to use the promo code NerdarchyRPG Crate to get 10% off your first month's subscription. So, in tonight's adventure, you guys have been contacted by a pair of half-orc brothers. Tog, who is a legendary cook in throughout the Three Rivers Ford, as well as his long-lost brother, Kirch, who is a stonemason of some renown. Their father, General Gorefist, has contacted them, asking them to come back and join the Horde. The town of Highmore was once a prosperous human settlement. Over the last decade or so, it has become completely overrun, and though it has human structures, human settlements, human walls, it is entirely an orcish village. There is rich history that some of you may have heard about an orc or two being let in, and slowly but surely these civilized orcs wound up pushing the humans out through their actions, through their subtle ways, as more and more orcs fled in. Your half orc compatriots, call them what you will, talked of a meeting that they had, and that they wanted them to join in. They're a little trepidatious about what's going on, and have asked you guys to look in, because they're more settled in their human parentage ways. They're not looking to get into orcish activities and warfare and all of that jazz. And the fact that their father has presented themselves as general pretty much means that typical orcish is nature is going to be afoot, and they really don't want any involvement. So they have asked you to go seek it out. What do you guys do?
Seek it out.
As a gnome, I have to be, opposed to this whole thing because I'm obviously Alliance. So there's that.
I am just a little bit concerned about working for a man named Gorefist.
Gorefist.
Well, they're not asking you to work for them. They want you to find out what's going on in Highmore. They want you to know, or they want you to find out whether they're looking for, whether this father is looking to have them join a war band and ravage the countryside, or whether in fact Highmore is an actual peaceful village.
Okay. Well,
but as stated with the name Gorefist, how likely is it that things are going to be on the up and up? Things are going to be happy.
Hey, as long as I get money. I'm going to go for the money grubbing guy this time.
Well,
I'm here.
As stated, Tog is a, legendary chef. He's got money. He is willing to pay you guys for your services, for your information.
Well, I think we can make an arrangement to kind of forego some of that money. If I get a little bit of this, top chef food,
well,
that sounds delicious.
That can absolutely be taken care of.
As long as you're foregoing your share.
Oh, I don't know. I can eat a lot there, Turkleton. might cut into your share. Who knows? Depends. How good of an eagle can you perform?
Nobody has ever questioned my ability to perform an eagle.
Eli is already charging towards Turkleton for an eagle.
And Turkleton is bracing to raise Eli into the air.
Seeing their foolery, I'm just going to turn into an eagle and fly away.
Hey, it's an eagle.
All right. So Mike leaves the group.
I would like to
just
make
to the nearby tree.
You would like to do what?
I would like to make an insight check to see if I think they might be hiding something.
Okay. Are you going for both or one of the brothers? What are you looking for?
One of them in particular, which
Okay, so would you like to go after
standing on
the cook or the stonemason?
the stonemason? That just sounds more suspicious to me.
Okay, so that's Kirch.
So 13.
So
Crap, we need dice for this game.
From what you can, tell, Kirch looks more like your typical half orc. A bit burly, but he breaks and shapes stone. He seems to be on the up and up. He kind of quells at the thought of kind of destroying the things that he's helped to create, be it, people or buildings or what have you.
That makes sense. Well, I think with caution, we should take this job.
Well, Tog's doing a lot of the talking. I greatly appreciate it. I think that my, and he holds up. He's definitely the more agile, thinner of the two. He's got more human than half orc, although he's still got that grayish green skin. barely showing any kind of tusks. It's a you know pretty decent looking half orc, but like he just wants to stay in the kitchen. The weirdest thing is, if like, oh well, if you find this meat or that meat, might be great for a stew or something new to cook up. Doesn't really have any interest in pulling out an axe and killing stuff.
I look to the gnomes slash halfling.
Well, the halfling is now an eagle in the tree up above you.
You don't see a
That
gnome, you
makes
just
me
see a
nervous.
very normal-sized person. Eli is now on Turk's shoulder with a large cloak draped us.
So this is going to require some travel. Do you have a particular route you would suggest taking?
So he, Kurtz is the one that's a little bit more traveled, and he speaks up. There is, certain areas that you might want to avoid, and he begins kind of scrawling in the dirt, giving you a rough estimation of where you should go, where you shouldn't go. Um,
I crouch to watch him do this and like make an effort to memorize what he's writing down as he does it.
all right, make an intelligence check.
I'm not going to memorize it, but I would like to watch from the tree with my eagle eyes.
If you have survival, you can roll that instead.
I also have the feat that allows me to remember anything that I've heard in like 24 hours.
Smarty
So-
pants.
She can do all this, but I'm just going to sit and remember it all.
22.
All right, so you got this locked into your head. So you can anything related to this map, that you want to recall or use back later, you'll be able to roll with advantage.
Yes, good.
So you looking to set off straight away? Do you wish to, wait out? What are you looking to do?
Well, he didn't particularly say there was any threatening on the road, so we don't really have any reason to think that a lot of surplus preparation would be necessary. So maybe just the normal road preparation.
And the world's largest adventurer says that we should probably get going immediately. Bear in mind, we're probably still shorter than the orcs.
So, why are you on his shoulders?
I'm not on anyone's shoulders. I just happen to be a very tall person.
With really short
Of
arms.
average.
Can't help the way I was born, man.
I don't know them.
I'm going to say into.
Why don't we
Drosty
have the
that
world's
they're-
largest dragon? Drosty, you
No.
have to get up here. We could do it.
No.
It would be so much
No,
fun.
that's not going to happen.
Thorn, where's that eagle? Eagle!
I wish I was an owl so I could turn my head around from you.
And just go, who?
From under the cloak, you just hear, we should probably get going.
All
I
right.
start walking.
He's Ace Venturiing over there, talking out of
And
his butt.
apparently I also say that in character.
What did you guys
A
get
quiet
yourself into?
talking groin. All right.
All right, so do you stay in eagle form, Mike?
Yeah, I'll follow him in Eagle, keep an eye out on the road
All right.
for at least 4 hours.
All right. So as you begin heading off, the path that you were expected to take is a forested path, and the forest becomes dense and thick. You guys are pretty perceptive as a whole. Thorn, if you stay in as an eagle, pretty soon you're gonna have to choose to either fly really low to the ground, or not maybe not low to the ground, but I mean you're gonna have to float below the tree line, or not be able to see your companions.
Okay.
What is
I'll
your what is your choice?
I'll go and land and turn back into myself.
All right.
Begrudgingly, because traveling quickly in this form is a shortcoming of mine.
A shortcoming.
Sorry, I had to.
Oh, they're already coming with short jokes.
Well, I mean, we've got, two gnomes, a halfling, and a kobold. I mean, what do you expect?
Fair enough.
So as you begin making your way, as I had stated, you guys are really perceptive. The jungle or the forest thickens, and you begin hearing something moving in the trees, off to both sides. What do you do? Do you stop?
Cast Shillelagh.
I yelp and hide behind the tallest party member.
Rock, paper, scissors to see who it is.
I'm
I
assuming
mean,
it's
it's
the
both of
twofer.
you.
I figured by the time we started walking, we'd get off of each other's shoulders and walk.
May
Yeah,
I
I'm not
actually
carrying
roll
him all the
stealth?
way through the forest.
Yeah, it's exhausting. I get a cramp. I'm gonna just grab my boomerang, leave my giant sword strapped to my back.
And I draw my 2 short swords.
But may I actually roll stealth?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that was a good roll.
You should tell me what those are
31.
like.
Wow.
What did you say? Did you say 31?
Yeah, I did.
What is your bonus?
Well, it's going to be her expertise. You guys are level 9.
So
It's plus
like
13. I have expertise. It's plus 13, and I rolled an 18.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice when you get into those impossible numbers.
Yeah.
Thought we were
Uh,
playing
So
Pathfinder for a minute.
so
Right.
Drosty just vanishes from view. So I imagined you step behind one of the gnomes and disappear behind one of the trees.
She cast invisibility.
I hate it when she does that.
So you guys have maybe not have been traveling together long, but you've been traveling somewhat for a while, and you've known that the kobold is pretty good at disappearing.
Every time we need her.
So, as you guys stop, you begin looking into the trees. Eventually, you begin to see something with green skin moving high up within the branches.
Oh, there she is.
No, I'm purple.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
All right.
Violet scales.
Yes.
Something with green skin up on the trees. How big does it look? Just
Probably about the same size as you guys.
oh.
Does it look hostile?
You can't tell. It seems to be moving too quickly. Like, it's not staying still at spots that are easily discernible.
I put away my swords and pull out my longbow.
Okay.
Is it within 30 feet of us?
If you move up to the edge of the trail, you would be able to get a shot at the top of the trees where this would where you think you're seeing these things.
Okay. I'll move to within that range, and using my telepathy, tell one of them, if it means us no harm, to stop and identify itself. And then if it doesn't answer, run away.
So does it respond telepathically, or?
Yes, I believe so. I don't think it has to, but I can't ever find it.
It's
I
been a
had
while
deep.
since I've looked up Ghostwise Halfling, so
Yeah,
they all
I,
all the telepathy things seem
different.
weird. Yeah.
I'll look it up. Go ahead and
All
just
right. So whether you hear it verbally or whether you hear it psychically, we par par, we par par.
that just sounds creepy. I don't know
Parlay.
what's that.
If somebody wants to do a history check, go for it.
Uh, would we be able to, or would that just be a Thorn thing since he's the one
I'm waiting on.
telepathicing?
Let's see. Speak telepathically to any creature within 30 feet of you. The creature understands you only if the two of you share a language. You can speak telepathically in this way to one creature at a time. That's
Okay.
all it's.
So all right. So you reach out, you speak to it, it responds verbally. So you all do hear this. You know, any that wants to make a history check, feel free.
I got it. I think I trained in that. Yeah,
I-
that is a 23. I can math.
Well, there is a group of goblins that refer to themselves as the Parpar. They are not your typical goblins. They have actually reside in their own settlement that mixes ground buildings as well as things up within the trees, and they have actually been trained by elves. So they have a little bit more of an elven viewpoint than typical goblins, but they excel at hiding as goblins do, but they're also, maybe not quite equal to elves, but they've been trained by elves in archery, the use of nets.
So they're arboreal goblins.
Okay, so I'll turn to everyone else and say, what we are dealing with here is the Parpar. They are an elven-trained group of goblins. And if we play our cards right, they probably won't mean us any harm.
What
As
happened to
they
the
should
elves that train?
anyway.
Looking at
Sorry.
you, Thorn.
What?
Be smart on this one.
I rolled a 3 on my history check, so
So what do you think the Parpar is?
It means we're going to eat you.
particularly at hearing goblins, all I see is green monsters. I'm already knocking an arrow and looking for a shot.
Please say cannibals. Please say you think they're cannibals.
Turk, no.
I think anything that's not friendly is a cannibal in my mind. I'll go with that. I just automatically assume.
Because you're small,
I don't
they want
care.
to eat you.
I don't care what they were trained by. If they're goblins, they're probably looking to eat us, and they probably eat each other. They're dirty cannibals.
Turk, not everything that's not nice is a cannibal. I haven't eaten another halfling ever.
That's surprising. I thought all halflings ate each other.
No comment.
That's because you're hiding in the bushes.
Yes.
Turk.
Let's just
Turk,
go.
I really
So-
want you
so-
to not attack the goblins.
So,
So I mean, I'm just looking for a shot.
Drosty, do you remain, hiding, or are you looking to do something specific?
Oh no, I'm staying where I am in the bushes and observing for the moment because that's good for me.
She's like a snake in the grass.
All right, so you've seen movement, Turk. You can take a shot if you want. You're not seeing anything specific. If you would like to make an attack, you can do so with disadvantage, or you can wait until something reveals itself. What do you wish to do?
I think being a specialized hunter, I wouldn't just shoot blindly into the trees.
Okay.
I wouldn't shoot until I actually had a shot at something that I could eat.
All right. So a single goblin leaves draped across its shoulders in like a mantle fashion, dressed in dark browns and leathers, clearly designed to be able to blend in with the trees. It like comes snaking down this rope just as fast as the rope is falling. It's sliding down to land amidst your group. Uh, Doing so, it does so with a decent amount of agility. You would expect something dropping that fast would get hurt, but it lands and does not seem bothered uh, by it. It does not hold any weapons in its hand, although there is a short bow on its back and a small knife at its side. We part par, we part par.
We mean you no harm, right, guys?
I'm
As
looking at
as you hear the sound of my bowstring tightening, I'm not loosing, but I'm ready in case we need to.
no harm. I'm looking at you, Turkleton.
Why
Was that
you
like some kind of
Just
Hippocratic
gonna
oath or something?
They're short like we are, man. Little lives matter.
why you walk these woods?
Because they wouldn't
We're
let me fly.
trying to get somewhere.
This part par land.
Can we go through?
Um, you help chief.
Can we go through, please?
You talk to chief.
Are you going to eat us?
No.
Okay, then we'll talk to the
Insight
chief,
check.
right, guys?
If you would like to insight check, you may.
Halfling 1.
Go for it. That inciting. I trust this little person.
I totally think they're going to eat us.
So
We have a kobold.
still going.
We have some trust for little people.
let me know when I have heard him speaking for at least a minute.
Okay. So,
All NPCs only speak for 59 seconds.
unless they are someone of consequence, they actually have a stopwatch. So, as you agree to this, at least another half a dozen goblins appear. They don't stay with you or any of that kind of stuff, but you do see them and, most importantly, hear them moving about the trees. As you guys step off the path and move into the jungle, or moved into the forest, I don't know why I keep doing that. You travel for actually much shorter distance than you would have expected, but you find yourselves at a camp, a settlement. Um, there's a vine-like fence that rings in the entire camp, and the lead goblin, points out that the fence is dangerous. Don't touch unless you want to get hurt. And as you look upon it, you see spiky thorns within within the vines that, until you're on top of it, you wouldn't even notice that they're there. He leads you to a blind where the bush grows into the vine. You wouldn't even notice that it's there, but you turn and all of a sudden there's an easy pathway through the fence as you step into this camp. The trees that go above, you can see the walkways that are rope bridges, casually sewn and crafted into the branches. Small structures built hidden from outside outside view as just natural camouflage. Inside, there's a variety of buildings and things that seem of far better quality than a goblin would typically have. Do you guys continue following?
I would like to attempt to remain hidden as we're following. Like, if I need to at some point, maybe try to like slip under the cloak that Eli and Turk are using, and like use that as cover on the way in, and then hide somewhere as we pass. And
All right, I'm gonna as you get into the camp, I'm gonna ask you to make another stealth roll.
As we're walking
yes,
and looking at the fence, I'm gonna tell Thorn, I'll bet if you hook it up right, you
dirty
could
20.
probably
You said a dirty 20.
dirty 20.
Yes.
All right. Can you make a perception check?
Me?
Can you?
Yes.
My passive is 19, and then rolling for a dirty 20.
Okay. You think at least one of the goblins has spotted you?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna see how this goes and play it straight.
So, if you guys continue, you are led to a tent. It is the most heavily guarded, with 4 goblin warriors marching around it in seemingly random paths. Strangely, the outside of the tent is covered with beads of moisture dripping onto the ground and forming thick mud puddles along the bottom edge. The goblin, who is yet to identify himself, he opens the tent flap and bids you enter. Who goes in?
I will.
I'll go in.
Yeah.
Can't let the halfling, be more brave than me.
Inside the tent is a soft loam floor, dozens of brightly colored pillows, and a menacing throne made of bones and barbed sticks. A squad of 6 goblins stand guard inside the tent. The air is near freezing, cold enough for you to see your breath as you exhale. The throne sits on a 10-foot circle of ice. A goblin sits on the ice throne, his skin blue and crackled, blending perfectly into his frozen surroundings. He holds a short sword in his hand, pointed down like a walking stick. Small icicles break from his face and fall to the ground as his expression changes as he smiles as you approach. His fragile fingers are almost transparent, like blue Arctic ice. His voice comes out bizarre as he speaks, and you see the vapor of his breath as it comes out. Hello, travelers. I'm pleased that you have come to my home, and hopefully, he raises an eyebrow, and you can see the skin crackle, and as it does, like ice seems to form. Offer aid?
You have very pretty eyes. Can I ask what happened?
Whatever do you mean?
I think he looks cool.
You're all you're all icy with like blue ice eyes and they crackle. It's pretty, but it's not normal.
So as you look upon him, he looks old for a goblin. The little bit of hair he has is it's bald on top, but it's like stark white that hangs past his shoulders, and it's hangs loosely, in groups as if it's fallen out to some degree. By whatever do you mean? I am Chief Scorn.
Well, normally people don't have blue icicle eyes. That it's not something that we don't have them, do we?
So as
Thorn?
you're saying this, he begins like twirling the short sword, uh, in his left hand, like spinning it so that its blade stays on the ground and it just spins. The uh, the movement draws your attention to uh, the blade that, while you can see it's metal, it's metal that looks like it's a large icicle, and the metal is tinged blue, and you see some of that cold emanating off of the sword itself.
So, I'm going to go ahead and assume that I know the magic and whatnot. But Arcana 12, do I know anything other than that?
Arcana 12, you would say that that's probably a magic sword.
Okay, and that I can kind of assume something. It's got something to do with his physical features.
You could, it wouldn't be a hard leap,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't gamble 100 gold on it.
Well, I'm not going to gamble 100 gold on this, but do your eyes have something to do with your sword? It's a cool sword. I like it.
I'm
Can I
going
touch it?
to whisper, or no, I
Can
guess
I-
not whisper. I'm gonna
Real quick, can I hold it? I just want to see how it feels. See if my eyes turn blue.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I'm gonna telepathically tell Eli that it's a good thing that Drosty is not here. She might abscond with such a weapon.
I'm going to Thorn as if he spoke to me normally and say, "Why is that?"
I'm gonna facepalm. Do I have to roll for that? No.
Yeah, see if you hit.
I am not playing an intelligence 16 character. Well,
Natural one. I get a roll again.
that's
I don't think that that's an issue with intelligence. I think that it's an issue with wisdom.
With
What is your
wisdom.
wisdom for?
it's 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
He's
got
me.
another halfling one.
Wow.
I'm done with that die. It's dead to me.
What happens with his face palm when he double ones?
Well, I mean, imagine he goes to do it, and trips and falls or misses and smacks himself in the eye.
He's a one-man Three Stooges routine.
Just
Whoop, 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 boing. So, looking around at dude poking himself in the face and Eli asking to touch a stranger's sword, I'm just going to ask him, what kind of help do you need?
Well, I am not certain what your purview is within this domain of these woods, of this forest. I look after my kin here, and I do believe the orcs are setting to attack. They do not like that we have moved in. They do not like that we claim this territory for ourselves. We have so many problems being so small. We have problems with the outside world. The elves that have trained us, they took us on as their project, but once training was done, they moved on. We seek those that would be willing to aid us in our cause. And perhaps if we could join forces, we would be all the stronger for it. So I don't know how much you guys normally deal with goblins or goblinoids, but this guy speaks far more eloquently than any goblin you've ever encountered.
yeah.
So he can put 3 words together.
He can define eloquent.
Wow.
So these orcs, they're bullying these goblins, and these elves just left you.
Indeed.
That's very short-sighted of them.
I feel like we have bigger problems.
killing me.
Bastards.
Game over,
Oh.
guys. We're just gonna dissolve into short puns for a bit.
Oh my gosh.
But the orcs are only a small part of it. Further to them, we must also deal with Gnoll raiders. These woods are crawling with humanoids that seek us, seek our ruin.
Well, you know what? I say us little folk gotta stick together. I'm here to help you out.
Well, if you'd be willing to prove your worth, prove your words, then perhaps together, all of us might seek an end to those orcs. Would that be an agreeable pact?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. What do you guys think? Should we do it?
I shrug.
I'm not there. I'm studying the goblins outside.
I thought you were hiding under my cloak.
I'm eager to wet my blades with
Twiceling blood?
with what?
Twiceling blood.
Always. We call him Ankle Shanker.
Ankle Shanker.
I thought that was just his middle name.
Turk Ankle Shanker Turkleton. Say that 10 times fast. Holy crap, that's hard to say.
I thought you called me Brown Bear.
Not today. You have to earn that one.
Thank goodness. I don't think there's enough room in here for me to turn into a bear.
You guys are horrible.
All right, so where's the bad guys you need us to take care of?
Well, it's not the fact that gnolls are good with punctuality. They attack when they attack. If you are willing to relax and be prepared for the next time that, and as he, gets cut off, you hear, a high pitched horn give out three short blasts as you hear the sound of heavy blades cutting through underbrush. Well, apparently, the time is now, and he quickly stands up. His sword, he just flips it from a casual, holding it in fingers to, grasping it firmly, and he begins striding, right through you guys towards the exit of the tent.
Ooh, that was chilly.
As he closes in upon you, you do feel, as if, like, for your guys, if you put your hand in the freezer, that's the kind of cold that is coming off of him. So he strides out of the tent. You guys follow.
I'm going to grab my great sword and do just that. I mean, literally nothing else would follow him.
You will probably hear me under my breath say, "Oh, gnolls. I could have sworn he said gnomes. Yeah, I don't mind killing gnolls." That's why I just shrugged, because I thought you said gnomes. I was like, I don't want to kill other short people.
Drosty, you would have seen some of what's going on outside. To the one side of the village, the wall seems to get shorn as large bladed weapons begin hacking into the wall, and with just a few short cuts, a hole is torn, and a handful of gnolls come springing, bounding into the encampment, followed by a massive ogre behind it.
Oh,
Okay, so I've been listening to them and watching them this whole time, and I speak Goblin. So have I hit the point yet that I can mimic their accent?
Absolutely.
Cool. I want to assist in the formations and stuff that we're taking against these intruders.
Okay.
Just kind of a mob mentality, insert a suggestion here, a little tweak there.
Okay. Awesome. So a handful of gnolls, and there's a lot of gnolls that are pouring in, but the perimeter guard sees this and seems to be on the ready. 5 or 6 shafts launch into that first gnoll, and it drops, no longer moving, but it just gets stepped on by the ogre, and you can hear the ribs cracking as the size of the foot just crushes the gnoll's chest without any care in the world, as it begins moving into the center of this camp, looking for something to crush, to destroy. So who wishes to take part?
Oh yeah. So we just watched him stop a gnoll, just not even care.
Well, the gnoll took 5 or 6 shafts to the chest, fell over dead, and then with it lying on the ground, unmoving.
It's fine. I thought it was a rage trigger, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
Can I get within 60 feet of the ogre?
We're gonna roll initiative for those that want to take part.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I didn't get a 2.
I have advantage. It's so cool to have advantage on initiative. I love it.
Ooh. 24. That's a nat 20.
15.
Wasting nat 20s on initiative.
All right, so we got a 20 for Jacob. What do you got, Mike? What do you got, Asa?
14.
15. It's in chat as well.
Oh, totally missed it. Sorry, guys.
Slacker.
It's what happens when you don't pay attention. I mean, I'm one to talk. Literally, my players in one of our games were like, love it when I sit here and I talk to you, and then you look at me and go, what?
My favorite part's when I'm monologuing for the villain, and they're like, oh, yeah, can you repeat that? It's like, no, he's not going to repeat it. You should have.
If you get a really vain villain, he's like, okay, all right, but you have to be really quiet. You've got to listen right now.
One more time for the fans.
My favorite thing is to force cage him and then do the talk.
Yep.
Captive audience.
Not going anywhere for a while. All right, so Turk, what are you doing?
All right, so how many gnolls do we have?
There are a lot, as there is more pouring in. The goblins seem to be intercepting some, but there's more gnolls than goblins.
All right, let me do it this way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to target the ogre.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is going to hit any of the enemies within a 60-foot cone.
Oh, yeah, you'll get a whole bunch there.
And what I'm going to do is, as I knock an arrow, I whisper some arcane words to it. And as I fire it, I'm casting Conjure Barrage.
Nice.
And that single arrow will turn into just tons of arrows launching out. And that is going to be a...
You're casting machine bow?
Yes. Exactly. That is going to be a DC 14 dexterity save.
You said 14, so let's see here. And you said dex.
Yes.
All right, the ogre does not make it.
Anybody that makes it's going to take half damage. That's 3d8, so that's going to be 15 is what I rolled on the 3d8. So the ogre will take 15. Anybody that fails takes 15. Anybody that succeeds will take half of that.
All right, so you're skewering a whole bunch of gnolls with this. A bunch of them, wind up jumping to the left or to the right to get out of it, but the people, or the gnolls and the ogre that are in the center of this, they didn't stand much chance, and they take a lot of arrows.
So that's my first attack.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to fire since I cast this already, I'm going to fire just a regular arrow just at the ogre.
Okay.
And that's going to be 9 plus 8, 17.
17 hits without a problem.
And that will be max damage, 12 piercing.
Okay. AJ. Eli.
All right. Who am I closest to right now?
Me.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Thorn. And so one thing I didn't bring up is Eli wears glasses because he's on the stage. He's going to turn to Thorn. He's going to take his glasses off and be like, you know what pisses me off? When people think that they can bring these giant freaking ogres to fight a whole bunch of goblins. It's just not fair, man. It's not fair. And then he's going to, shrieking in a very high-pitched manner, grab his greatsword and just howl as he charges into the line of gnolls. And I'm just going to attack whoever I hit first.
Okay.
Crap.
And I will, because I'm just going to go into a blind, just who cares rage. I'm going to reckless attack the first person. Or do I get that for all my attacks, right?
Yes.
Was it reckless?
Whichever one gives me advantage.
Yeah, reckless.
Against the attack. Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna reckless, and I'm gonna do the other one, as long as they don't take up the same actions. It doesn't look like reckless does any actions at all, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do mindless rage. No, not that one. Sorry. The bonus action attack.
Okay.
All right. So my first shot is 19.
19 hits without a problem.
All right. And that Gnoll is going to take 9 damage. And if he's still standing, I'm going to whack him again.
I imagine you go right to the front of the line, and there's a whole bunch of ones that are here that took a whole bunch of arrows from Turk. Mm-hmm. So you head into that one, and you cleave into his midsection. You said you're using a greatsword?
Yep.
So you carve and you come, because you got to be swinging up because you're so short.
Right.
You swing up on your first one. You come into his rib cage, and you just you see bone after bone just fall to the might of your swing, breaking off some of the arrow shafts that were magically created by Turk's spell, and this thing falls limp. You just casually duck out of the side as you prepare your next swing to your next victim.
Yeah, and that one is an 18.
18 hits as well.
And
more
damage.
You come in, you go high on this one. The Gnoll, thinking that you are going to be easy prey, attempts to backstep, but in doing so, he sees his friend fall, and he kind of instinctively ducks, not realizing how small of a target you are, and he winds up bringing his head directly into the path of your sword, and you cleave not through the neck, but just through his skull. Half his face falls off as his body lies dead at your feet.
And my bonus action attack is a 25.
Well, you had to use
that misses.
Bonus action to rage.
Oh, that's right, I did. Thank you.
Next round,
I
though.
forgot that. Yeah. I knew I'd bonus action for something.
So then that is Thorn.
All right. I would like to cast Fairy Fire because I can't roll. So I want to hit the ogre for sure, and then as many of the gnolls as I can that aren't near Eli because he doesn't need it.
Well, he's got to attack recklessly to counteract the disadvantage from his small stature.
I have fought with him a few times. I know he does that anyway, so I don't need to give him advantages.
Okay.
He makes his own advantages, little as they may be.
It's true.
All right. So,
I gotta sneak him in there.
That's a dex save DC 15.
For the ogre.
Yep.
Ooh, he actually makes it.
I flip him off. And then, as my bonus action, cast Shillelagh on my club.
All right. So since Eli was so interested in, pushing into the line, the ogre kind of just steps through, knocking some of the gnolls out of the way as they begin to scatter and infiltrate into the encampment. He pulls out this massive great club, and he's gonna swing down at our little gnomish friend. And that is going to be a 24 to hit you, sir. Did our barbarian walk away?
Yeah,
Okay.
for a second. Sorry, I had to check on the kids. What's going on?
The ogre pushed through some of the gnolls as they begin to scatter out and get into their own fights, and he walks within 10 feet of you, and he brandishes this club that's tall as the super adventurer that you were so part of earlier, and and he brings that down at you for 22 points of damage.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Well,
It's half that.
it's halved because you're raging, yes, but
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Though.
all right.
I'm just gonna look at him and go. Ah! Ah! Sorry for anybody who's wearing headphones.
Drosty, are you here?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You are
So
up.
first question: how far up are those rope bridges in the trees, and have I discerned how to get up there?
You absolutely can. You can get to a tree that can get up to them. That's about 15 feet away. They are 20 foot up. There are some staircases or rope pulleys to get up.
Can't you just cast Fly? You're obviously able to cast Invisibility.
So that is perfect. I would like to get up on one of these rope bridges.
Okay.
I can use the help action as a bonus action if the target of the attack my ally is making can see or hear me.
Okay.
Within 30 feet. And if I'm only 20 feet up, that shouldn't be a problem. The ogre's pretty big, so who's attacking the ogre? I've been kind of glitching in and out, and I'm not sure.
Right now, the ogre is in melee with Eli.
Okay, so I will use the help action to assist Eli.
Okay.
As a bonus action, because I can do that. Do I still get an attack, or did my movement dunk that up?
No, you can just barely get up there and stay within range with your normal movement.
Sweet. All right, so
what would you like to do with your action?
what was it? Short bow.
Okay. At the ogre or one of the gnolls?
At the ogre.
Okay.
28 to hit. I rolled really well.
Yeah, 28 hits.
And Eli is within range of it so that
Yes.
Okay. That would be 23 damage.
All right. So you shoot it. It hits into the neck of this thing, and it releases this massive bellow. Actually, scares a couple gnolls off their feet, which the goblins quickly take advantage of. But it scares a couple goblins out of the trees, and they fall, and they're not looking so happy about it. Then we are up to me. All right. So as the gnolls, was that all you could do, Trusty?
Yep.
All right.
Are,
So
are these regular gnolls?
Regular Gnoll.
well, my paper says gnoll stalkers. So
Oh.
They're not.
So in other
regular
words, don't tell
gnolls.
them where you live.
They've already figured it out.
They're gonna follow you around anyway, man.
So these guys all of a sudden just begin rushing out and filling the camp. Let's see here. So since Drosty is not in range, let's see here. We're gonna have a couple of them come at each of the rest of you. So Thorn is that. At least one of my dice really like you, Thorn.
Row.
So what is that? It's a D6. So two of them come in and begin hacking at you with their blades. So you take 19 points of damage. One hurt really bad.
I would like to take half that because Eli's raging.
Do you want to take half because Eli's raging? Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Had
I'll
to
hug
ask.
him. If I just hug him, can it work that way?
Who's next on my list? 13 for 13 AC for Eli. That's not a huge armor class, sir.
No, I have a low constitution.
As a Barbie?
Yeah, I took it as dude. I took int and strength as my two high ones.
Well, see, that's the problem. He went Barbie, not Ken.
It's true.
Sorry.
Also, wait.
I've just got that song going through my head now. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I don't know, man. I didn't dump my int, so can we say I took Barbie?
All right, so what does that work out to be? So after halving, you take 9 points of damage. That was over the course of 3 attacks. I know some people round up. I round down.
Book says round down.
Oh well, I know there's some DMs that round up. All right, and then.
See, I just make him take half damages.
But what happens if you're at half a hit point? What does that mean? Are you still standing?
You make half a death save.
Alright, so you're a 15. These are at... Oh, well, they all hit you. So our other gnome friend, he winds up taking 4 short sword blades. So you take a total of 21 slashing damage.
That was for me, right?
No, that's for Turk.
Oh, other gnome. Okay.
Yep.
Wait, did you say 4 blades?
Yeah.
Is General Grievous attacking me?
No. Like the gnolls are swinging twice with their swords. And
The way you said it, I thought it was one 4-armed gnoll.
there's 2 gnolls moved in to engage each of you, and they're swinging their short swords twice.
Okay. I got you.
And I happen to hit you with all 4 attacks.
All right.
That
Looks
brings
like-
us to the top of the order. So you're up, Jake. Or Turk.
Turkleton. Hold on. I'm doing this math here. Okay.
Maybe after that you should call a doctor.
I know a good surgeon.
Will he have advantage because of my fairy fire? Depending on what he's attacking.
Yeah, I mean, there's gnolls that have the fairy fire going on it. So
So I've got 2 gnolls on me.
yes, sir.
Dropping the bow, drawing the 2 long swords, and I'm going to Zephyr Strike as a bonus action,
Okay.
which gives me an extra 30 feet of speed. And for the duration, my movement does not provoke
Yep.
opportunity attacks.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna use. I know I already have advantage, but I'm still gonna use that feature so I can get the extra damage on the first strike.
Absolutely.
So let's see. I need 2 of these. So first attack, they're both 18s, so that's 26 to hit.
Yeah. These guys are not all that difficult to hit.
And then the second attack on the other one, because I'm going to attack one and then the other, is going to be 23 to hit.
Yep.
So for the first one, that is 1d6 plus 1d8. So that is 7 plus 5, 12 on the first one I hit.
All right, so that fells the guy that's on you. He's still got some arrows from your first strike.
And then on the other side, that is a 9.
9 damage.
Yep.
That fells him as well.
And I'm going to, since I've got this Zephyr and I don't provoke attacks, but they're dead anyway, I'm going to rush up on the, you know what, I'm not going to go anywhere. Because I'm not going to put myself in range of something just yet. So I'll just stand where I am.
Okay. Eli, you're up.
All right, and so if I got this right, Megan's character is assisting me.
Yes.
So I am able to get an advantage on my attack rolls
Correct.
against this here ogre. And I'm just going to go ham. I'm going to charge up and do the action I would normally do, where I come up and just kind of kick somebody in the shin or the kneecap to kind of get him to buckle, and then just wham on him with my sword. Of course, against him, it's going to be like me just kind of footing his leg and then going crazy.
Now by raw, like, advantage, you can have as many advantages as you want and as many disadvantages as you want. One of each cancels each other out. To me, I don't think it makes much sense. If you attack recklessly, that gives you advantage, but you're using a weapon that's too big for you that gives you disadvantage. All right, so now you're at level. She's doing something to aid you that should give you the advantage.
Right.
So you can attack recklessly and have advantage, but they have advantage to hit you, or you can use her advantage and not attack recklessly to roll square.
I'm going to attack recklessly and take that advantage.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got 23.
23 to hit? Oh, easily.
Yep. And then a 15.
15 hits.
And 22, so that's higher. Okay,
Yep.
so you want the damage is separate, right?
Oh, no, just give it to me all at once. It's fine.
Okay. And let's see. Sorry, guys. Got to do all this here mathing. 31 damage in total.
Okay.
Looks like only the Gnolls are getting jaked tonight.
Oh, this is the ogre. Just
The night is
Go
young.
Or the ogre.
Yep. And the whole time, just that high pitched scream that I will not do again because anybody wearing like headphones is gonna hate me. Not even saying words, just screaming.
So, at about this time, like you put a seriously hurt in on the ogre. You know, he's still standing, he's still fighting. Um, but you see the cold air off to your left kind of get pulled in to uh, to Scorn, and it like swirls and ebbs around his blade, and he releases this blast, and you know a large section of the gnolls that are there get blasted with lightning, and like whatever got hit is not moving. Thorn, you're up.
Do Turk and Eli happen to be within 30 feet of each other, do you think?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, well then, whichever one appears to be the most hurt to me, I'm assuming Turk, since Eli's got resistance, I'm going to cast my healing spirit in his square
Okay.
as my bonus action, and he will regain a whole 1 hit point because dice love me.
Wait, isn't it 2 dice that you roll?
I don't think so. I think it was 1d6, and then
I thought it
each
was. I thought it was 2d6 to start.
5-foot cube. You can cause a spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to that creature.
Okay, count me wrong.
All right, so that was my bonus action, and then for my action, I'm going to attempt to use dice.
One tiny cut on my hand suddenly heals itself.
One of the drops of blood that was leaking out kind of gets pulled back in.
All right. Well, for my attack on whichever Gnoll's closest to me, I got a 25 to hit
That hits.
for 8 damage.
8 damage. All right. And what are you attacking with? Your shillelagh?
Yeah.
So you kind of smack him on the foot. You know, he picks it up, starts jumping. You beat him in the face, and he stops moving.
Can a little flower sprout from his forehead?
Next round, a flower will sprout.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So the ogre did not like the strike that you gave him, Eli. So he is seeking retribution.
They're gonna step on me.
I don't know what he's gonna do yet.
I feel like Jay from Men in Black. Eat me! Eat me!
You got to insult his mother first, I think.
That's true.
All right. So he actually comes in at you twice, and since you have such a fantastic armor class, he winds up connecting with both.
Oh, with his advantage and my 13 AC, he actually hits?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. So your first strike after halving, you take 7. That's a little bit better. The next one you take 10.
Okay. I'm not even a half health yet. Half health. I'm good.
Did you say you were? I'm not even a half elf yet.
Yes, he's trying to become a half elf.
Why do you think I keep standing on your shoulders, man? We're working on half elf in here. I can't speak some days.
That brings us to Drosty.
Asa, it's not Sunday.
Exactly. It's a day that ends with Y. I can't talk.
Drosty, are you here?
It says she's participating, just not on video. Maybe
she's muted too.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there she goes.
I was glitching out when you called my name.
Cool.
At least I assume you did. Okay, so I got a 19 to hit with my.
Are you going after the ogre or are you going after one of the gnolls?
Yes.
All right, 19.
The ogre still.
19 hits without a problem.
All right, so that's going to be 32 damage, and then I want to use my bonus action to continue to help Eli.
Okay, so is there any particular area you're trying to hit the ogre?
I mean, like, I'm aiming for the face.
All right, so
Not the face.
so you shoot, thing goes right into its eye. The head of the is it a bolt or an arrow? Are you using crossbow or short bow?
Short bow.
All right, so the head of the arrow explodes out of the back of this creature's skull. Proving the fact that when the bits of brain matter come out with it, that ogres in fact do have brains, they just don't always use them. And the ogre begins to topple. Eli, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I have advantage.
I choose to disbelieve on the brains.
Well,
Okay.
that's perfectly fine. You can choose to do so.
That is a 18.
Okay? So,
Oh, I may not have advantage on that one. I'm sorry. I might have read that wrong.
No, if it's a dexterity saving
Yeah.
throw, you can see coming.
Yep. Okay. No, I do.
so you get out of the way, but a gnoll or two don't, as this massive ogre, topples at your feet. Over the next couple of rounds, you guys clean up what gnolls that don't flee. Uh, some of you and some of the goblins begin taking pot shots at the gnolls as they are fleeing to try and discourage them from coming back. You see another blast of what looks like cold wind and lightning. Come from the sword that Chief Scorn is wielding. And the gnolls are driven forth. A smallest goblin that you didn't see before. Or, sorry, a small goblin, one that you didn't see before, comes out of one of the trees and walks over to the fence and begins chanting something, and the vine fence begins sewing itself back together. What do you guys do?
I think that Eli will be screaming himself hoarse until he finally runs out of things to kill, and then just like drop to the ground, exhausted.
What is sewing itself back together now?
The vine fence.
Oh.
A very very tiny goblin, not even 2 foot tall, somewhat hunched, wielding some kind of stick, dark green hair with flowers and vines, wrapped up in it, almost like a small hat or crown. Uh, you know, went to the hole that was carved in their wall and cast some kind of magic, and the vines reached from both sides and begin like knitting the fence back together.
Will a nature or arcana check tell me what he cast? Never mind, it
Did
won't
anyone
matter.
else see the goblin baby? The little goblin baby just ran around. Goblins. Can I get a glass of water, please? Glass of water. Something to eat.
There you go.
A little bit. All right. Okay. Thank you.
I know when Eli gets like this, I keep
Blood sugar's low. I
I
need
keep-
some food.
I keep some pudding cups in my pack just for this
Oh.
purpose.
Thank you, Turkleton.
And a Snickers bar.
Don't let the janitor know we took these.
I've got a trunk full of them.
Is anybody watching the comments? Anybody catch on to what you guys are doing yet?
Yes. Yeah.
When the,
Yeah,
from, the
oh, no,
first,
the
from the
Scrubs
first time
reference.
he stood on my shoulder, somebody called out the Scrubs reference.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I don't know if they're getting all of the references, but they're at least catching a few of them.
I'd hate to see all your work go to waste.
Hey, I don't think it's going to waste because the five of us are enjoying it, or at least Lisa and I are. So.
I haven't seen Mike stop laughing this whole game, so I think we're doing well.
Hey, you hit on one of my all-time favorite sitcoms, so I've got references for days.
Oh yeah. I love
It's a
that
shame.
movie.
Shame no one came as a blonde adventurer.
Next time, maybe.
Who says I'm not?
Wait, are you telling me that Thorn is the Elliot Reed of the group? That's awesome.
Don't think about it too hard, Asa.
I'm
Quit thinking.
I can see the smoke.
yeah. It's coming out the ears, but it's kind of stuck in with the headphones.
All right. So, what do you guys do as as Chief Scorn, begins going, from goblin to goblin that was, hurt or damaged during the battle. They bring over a handful of bodies that didn't make it in the fight, and somebody's got to begin dealing. Eventually they're going to start dealing with all the Gnoll bodies and of course the big ogre body.
For the next minute, my friends and I are going to run circles through my healing spirit to regain health.
I was just looking to cast Cure Wounds on myself, but
How
I'll save that.
It lasts 10 rounds and
And 1d6. Yeah. I mean,
so like 8d6 since it's been up for a round or two already.
yeah.
that would work.
All right, because I need that heals.
So
Yay, I'm full.
couple of goblins see what you're doing. They try and get in on it.
They're more than welcome to.
So you guys have this little
I announced the short conga line. It's actually really long.
It's a dance circle, at this point in time.
Oh yeah.
You guys
I'm just
all
while
lock
everybody's
hands
dancing. While everybody's dancing, I'm just doing the theme to Sanford and Son. There's another Scrubs deep cut for you.
Yep. I'm gonna once I get myself healed up, I'm gonna start dragging that ogre. I cannot remember if the first level of exhaustion gives you the -2 skill checks.
Yes.
I think it's
So I'm gonna be doing this with disadvantage, but I'm gonna be dragging this ogre
just
as best I can.
just rage again, and then you'll do it at a straight roll.
Well, if it's an acrobatics check or an athletics check, I have advantage on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be athletics.
Just don't do your reckless rage or whatever it's called.
I'll help him out with this.
So I'll have
you have
actual
advantage anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, the advantage would cancel out my disadvantage. So you helping me out would actually allow me to have advantage.
All right. Well,
I'm not helping, but I'm more than willing to watch.
And I still rolled a 1 and a 4, so with a +7,
two gnomes trying to pull an
still
over.
an 11. How is this going?
So it takes a little while.
But you'll finish it shortly.
It might be easier to move in pieces.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That there is always that. You could cut off a little bit at a time.
Well, I will start hacking away at disadvantage.
Well, you don't have an advantage. You don't have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Not until next level.
I do when I pull out my greatsword,
Oh.
and I'm not raging. Although, my disadvantage was still 25, so...
So, all right. So, if you guys, begin doing this, you hack apart the ogre. You see that it's got a pack on his back. Do you get into it at all?
Oh yeah. Well,
You better believe it.
not literally get inside it, although we.
Oh, I will.
But,
Climb into that thing.
No ogre sex for me.
I feel like at this point, by the time any of us get into the pack, Drosty's already in the pack.
If that's where she was hiding this whole time.
It's where she's been since the start.
Like when you open up the pantry and the kids already got the box of Pop Tarts open and they've eaten the tops off of all of them.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, we definitely open that bag up and there's Frosty. Just hey,
the sack is filled with 25 gold, 4 silver plates, 4 sets of silver dinnerware, and 2 small carved statues.
ooh, what do
What
they
are the
look like?
statues of?
One is a cat, and the other is an elven maiden.
I'm gonna roll history. I got a 9 because I have disadvantage because I'm tired.
They don't.
I
What do you think they are?
Now, you guys wouldn't know this because you haven't read books I've read. But I'm pretty sure that this lady is supposed to be on that cat. They just carved it wrong. Did it all wrong. So we should fix that. Who volunteers?
I would like the cutlery. If no one minds.
You want the silver dinnerware?
Yes.
Is it large? Is it like us size?
It's sized for medium people, not you small folk.
So it's
for
still
us,
large.
It's like,
Oh yeah.
for us, it's like what you used
This
to
is
cook with.
exactly why I want them. I want them because then I can stab people with these forks.
I'm gonna keep these statues because there's got to be a way to rectify this problem of them carving it wrong. Guys, I need a nap. I really do. I need a nap.
Sleep is for the weak.
I'm going to turn into a gorilla and then try to find something to make glue for Eli.
You just say I could sleep for a week? That sounds good. I'm gonna do that.
Why are you looking to make glue?
To put the two statues together.
Ah, okay.
But I'm doing it as a gorilla so that it's stronger glue.
Oh,
So it's gorilla glue.
Because that's how that
nice.
works.
Pretty sure I saw it in a commercial once. It's got to be how it's done. TV doesn't lie.
Oh my god,
What's
people.
TV? What's TV? What's a commercial?
Is
What?
Ted
Why do
starting?
you put up with us?
Yeah. Are you regretting
I
this?
think he's asking himself that right
Yep,
now.
yep. Well, I love you all. I mean it. So over the next hour or so, you and the goblins, manage to get these bodies out, and apparently, short distance away, there's a small hole that they've been throwing the gnolls down. It stinks, but they haven't filled it up yet.
I would like to point out that in chat, Elfbait says everybody is somebody, never a Gnoll buddy.
That's awesome.
Nobody knows.
Nobody gnomes.
So even when we get the ogre into this hole, does it fill up yet?
Nope.
All right. I'll turn to the chief and say, well, is there more help that we need to help with? Or
That was quite amazing. You got your ally, his first volley, if you will, was enough to nearly knock down half their forces.
yeah, we're pretty cool. That's true.
That was indeed most prolific.
That's a word.
He does have a large first impression, but it all goes downhill from there.
Mm-hmm. Just when I ask you this, please don't think little of me.
Oh no.
But is there more that we have to do right now, or can I got a nap, man. I got to get some sleep.
Well, the plan was to set out to try to take care of this orc problem. If you would require some rest, we could certainly do that.
Yeah, just put me on a stretcher and just carry me. I'll sleep. You walk. We'll get there.
I would like to speak to the goblin leader.
Absolutely.
How sure are you that these orcs are actually a problem.
Well, first and foremost, where did you come from, little one?
Yes, I have been here the whole time.
Well,
I needed to stop and watch because this is what we do. We stop and we watch and we make sure that people either are or not a threat before we attack them. It's smart. We are
well,
small.
there is certainly strength to this way of thinking, and I do not begrudge you of it. I am quite pleased that you were there to aid in the battle as well. I did not miss your part, at least after you appeared. Um, we, I'm certain you have observed at least some extent of our ways. We are stealthy. We have the ability to observe, and in the nearby town of Highmore, while during the day it appears they run their town as any normal human or elf settlement, but at night they plan, they train, and it is quite evident in what they're doing that they seek war, and they bolster their numbers. They are calling out for more tribes. They send they send their their trustworthy into towns to rally those that have orcish blood, so that
And
they might call more numbers to them.
and how did you come upon this information?
Quite stealthily.
Clearly. I would like to make just one request.
Sure.
And this is a very little thing. You are already stealthy enough that this is not a problem, and you know that I can hide fairly well. You did not know that I was here. I would like to see this for myself before I commit to an act of war against these people.
By all means, without witnessing with your own eyes, I would be hard pressed. You have proven yourself to our kind, to our village. It would be wrong if we did not do the same for you. So I will allow some of my kin to go with you, escort you to where we observed from, and this evening you will see for yourself as these orcs train and talk of war. If that is acceptable to you.
That is perfectly copacetic, thank you.
If I'm able to get a short rest between the now and the time they leave, I'll offer to go with them.
Okay. There is absolutely time for a short rest. Uh, Eli is exhausted, and I believe he wishes to lay back so he can get full rest in.
Kick his feet up, get an umbrella
I,
drink.
I totally get it if, like, because we're traveling, if he can't actually get a full rest in.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay. He's just, he gets a little bit grouchy when he doesn't eat and doesn't sleep.
I could see that.
Kind of becomes a Betty White.
He's a hangry gnome.
Oh, yeah.
But it's only a small problem.
Oh.
So that evening, Turk, do you stay with Eli or do you come on the scouting mission?
I think I would stay with Eli.
So
we're gonna split the party.
So Thorn, Drusty, and a handful of the goblins head out. Scorn stays in his tent. You see the tent still dripping with condensation. Still feel that cold air area. As the group sets out, you realize that these guys they move at a pretty swift pace, running on tree branches. If you guys are able to, keep up, cool. If you're wanting to follow from below, they're okay with that as well.
I'm going to. I can't ever remember her name. I'm going to look at Megan's character.
Drosty.
And, yeah, and say, if you don't want to run, get on, and I will turn into a giant owl.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I am very excited to ride on the back of this owl.
Normally, I eat your kind in this form, but I'll make an exception.
Well, that's not very nice. Someday maybe dragon eat you.
It is a distinct possibility at one point, but not today. I like being able to. So I will follow at roughly the pace I think they're going. I mean, I can see pretty well.
So you guys travel for about an hour or so until you get to a a high bluff that's overlooking the town, and as day ends, it's dusk. The sun is beginning to set, and you see people you see orcs and half orcs milling about town, and it looks like any other town. And you guys watch. So the next hour goes by, and the sun fully sets. Torches begin to light up in what is that? Off to the one side, near the actual riverbank. See a large building, and it's got an open roof, and you see like military style marching as handfuls of orcs begin coming out of their buildings, filing into formation as it begins marching towards this large structure. Um, as you peer in, you hear massive sounds of battle and fighting, and it's quite clear that something is going on in there.
I want to get closer.
So
I will fly closer. Unless she jumped off at some point.
Well, I imagine while you were sitting and waiting, she wasn't staying on top of you.
Oh yeah, no.
But if you stayed in owl form and you say you want to get closer, do Thorn? Do you kind of give a hoot?
Yeah, I can just tell her too, because
that's true. Man, that's a great combination.
Right?
Telepathy and beast shape. Nice. That's a good call there, sir. All right. So,
thank you.
So, do you wish to remount?
Oh yes.
Regulator, mount up.
All right. So, as Turk says, you move a little closer to get a short distance away. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
I'm just an owl. I'm not trying to be stealthy.
But you're a giant owl.
Can I help?
Oh, dang nabbit, I hit the wrong button.
You both.
I can help as a bonus action, right?
There it is.
So, if so you can give Thorn a advantage on his stealth check, and you can roll for yourself as well.
21.
I am also a 21.
All right, so you guys are able to breeze on in. How close are you looking to get? What are you looking to do here? Do you want to get into the town? Do you want to see from the outskirts?
Oh, I want wanna get as far into the town as we can without being seen. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see what I can overhear if I can. I don't speak Orcish, but like I know, like I probably know what military drills sound like.
So you get in and you're able to actually look through the windows of several different buildings. Um, you look in the one building and you see a map of the area, and it's similar to the hand drawn map in the dirt that uh, Kirch did for you,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can see, oh well, here's the town of Three Rivers. Here's Highmore. Here's this other town over here, and like it's an actual drawn map, and it's got like X's over a handful of the towns with like hash marks put in it.
Does there happen to be a legend explaining what that means?
Well, one of the towns has one hash mark. Another of the towns has two hash marks. The town that's further away has three hash marks. I'll let you figure that out.
Is there anyone around the map?
At the moment, no.
I'm going to fly down and grab it in my talons and fly back up.
You're a pretty big owl, right?
Yeah,
I
large.
I don't think you're going to be able to get through the window.
Oh,
I think a kobold might be able to.
I can do this. Yes.
I will make a strafing run, drop her in, and then pick her up on the other side.
All right, the window is open. So you're able to just sneak in, roll up the map, and jump on out.
Oh yes.
Because I can't seem to roll a perception check tonight. The last three rolls were a 3, a 7, and a 3.
That's
Nice.
hilarious.
Quit rolling like me.
Well, I did nat 20 you earlier, so I
Neat.
don't feel so bad.
So we'll take this and study it where it's brighter.
So when you look into the building that they were all going to, the large structure, they're clearly training and they're in battle formations. You can see shield wall training on one side. You can see a couple others. The thing that's a little bit disheartening is there is a massive orc, and he looks like he's getting ready to go into battle against a group of orcs. And as he does so, just before the orcs rush him, he takes his two hammers and slams them together, and they erupt in flame. And he proceeds to pound these half a dozen orcs into unconsciousness with barely any bit of sweat on him.
Do I have a minute to watch him do this?
You can. Are you going to stay on the owl at a window, or are you going to try and have the owl shoo away? And
I feel like I have a better chance of not getting caught if I get off the owl and head somewhere else.
okay, so make a stealth roll.
26.
So you begin watching, and this burly orc begins bellowing orders. As perceptive as you are, there's a moment when when someone has a suspicion of being watched, they have that that reaction before they look, and you see that reaction from this guy with these flaming hammers. His whole form rises a little bit, and he happens to look to the right and begins sweeping. And as he gets to the window where you're hiding, you take that moment to dip down,
Oh,
and
yes.
you remain out of view while his vision passes, and then he goes back to doing what he's doing, and you ever so slowly, creep your little head back up into view, and you begin, or you continue your study. But you beat him barely, um, even with his natural 20.
Oh, jeez.
But that's a great thing about the system where natural 20s don't guarantee success outside of combat. So his number still could not beat your 26. That was impressive. Um, so do you look to glean any more information, or do you have what you're looking for?
Um, all right. So it says the DM tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regard to two of the following characteristics. I'm going to pick intelligence and charisma. I've got a charisma of 15 and my int is 10. So,
Well,
and
he
then,
he is your equal in intelligence and you're inferior to charisma.
okay. And then at the DM's option, you might also realize you know a piece of the creature's history or one of its personality traits if it has any.
He is aggressive and he is competent in battle.
Okay. Well, that's what I needed to know. I will then proceed to attempt to sneak away and back to my owl compatriot.
Well, from where you are, there's no one to observe, so you're able to get onto the owl, um, and slink away unobserved.
Okay. So I will then proceed to share this information with the goblins and the rest of the party. And I agree, they are definitely gearing up for war.
So I heard that Thorn is looking to open a bar with this owl as its logo. Is that what I'm hearing?
Who? Sorry.
Tonight's episode not only brought to you by RPG Crate, but also by puns.
He also pulled a me.
Oh, that was such an obvious joke, and I can't believe I didn't see it coming.
Before we get too far away, I ask if there's anything we want to do about this before we leave, or if we leave the discussion up to the whole group.
Oh, we should not do anything before we talk to them.
Okay. And I keep flying.
So puns, is that another just shortcoming for this group?
Oh boy.
Oh, I think we're running short on them is what we're doing.
Yeah, our supply is getting pretty pitiful.
All right, so you
A little bit.
So for expedience, you're able to make it back to the forest camp without any problem, and you are able to bring your information to Scorn. So you have found the information that you were looking for, yes?
Oh, yes.
We got a map.
Do you believe me now that they are the threat to the area?
Yes, I do. From what I've seen, it definitely looks like that is what they're doing.
So I think with with this group, if maybe you were able to take out their leaders, my troops could keep their grunts occupied.
I agree. I think we should focus fire the big one.
So, when would you and yours like to set out?
I look to the others.
Am I still sleeping?
Probably, unless someone came to wake you up.
Well, I would have if we were having a meeting.
Every time he gets woken up before his alarm goes off, he rages. So
Oh, well, maybe not.
Well, you could say that we could discuss this in the morning, and you could go
That.
rest as well.
That. And then when we wake him up, it's from a distance.
So
Sounds good.
morning comes. You have
And to
had,
poke him in the face with a broom handle.
Ah! Oh. I'm awake.
I'll cast infestation on his bed mat and
Oh, that's
So,
not even funny.
So
You know what really pisses me off? Bed bugs. Thorn, hold these.
so Thorn and Drosty, you have not slept enough to have a full rest.
That's
Um,
okay.
Unless you're trying to, not get out of bed when everybody else is.
I'm good with a short
I
rest.
haven't taken any damage, so a short rest is fine by me.
Okay. So, over, in the morning, everyone, gets up. Drosty and Thorn a little groggy,
Coffee.
and you begin having, a conversation about, when you would like to set upon the town of Highmore, and how you would like to go about doing it.
I wanted to start last night, but she thought we should come.
I did.
Hey, I was up for starting last night too. I totally was ready to go.
Oh, yes, we know this. We saw you.
Good. I'm glad that everyone knows how eager
How
I am
brave
to
you
do
are.
things.
How bravely foolish.
That exactly.
So, what is your thoughts? What is your plans? Well, what do you think? I see that I'm told that the two of you scouted the town.
Yes. I bring out the map that we stole and kind of lay it out, and I'm like, does this mean anything to you?
Well, it looks as if it's a path of attack. You look at these towns; they seem to be further and further out from Highmore, and they're all X'd out. I'm guessing that's their plan, and the hash marks, the tick marks, might be their order of attack.
Well, in that case, would it not be prudent to go to this first town, warn them, and help them set up a defense so that we are not going in and being the aggressors?
I much prefer being the aggressor.
Oh,
If
logic over rage. I think we should defend the town. I think that let them come to us, because then we have the defensive position, and we can do a lot more with that than we can if we're the ones on the offensive.
But I don't think the town is going to be welcoming our aid.
Let us speak to them and they will listen.
Why would they not? They're gonna be attacked. That would be really stupid. If they don't welcome our aid, they probably should get wiped out.
Well, it is
Maybe we need to bring them some proof.
it is.
Or-
It's,
We have proof right here.
You could sack the town
I hold
first,
up
and
the
then we
map.
could defend it.
Yeah, we got the map, man.
We also don't know when they're going to attack, and the element of surprise is able to do wonders. If we attack them, we would have the ability to know when we would be the most prepared, they would be the least. Whereas if we wait until they are ready, they will be at the height of their strength. As I had said, that they are calling out to gather more. And if we are wrong,
Insight.
go for it.
Okay, so I rolled poorly. I want to go ahead and use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Go for it.
Okay. So 10. Dang it.
He is looking to get this matter over with, and you think the longer the delay, the stronger the orcs are going to get.
Because they work out.
Okay.
I'm along with the chief here. My personality traits, I expect danger around every corner, and I refuse to become a victim.
Just don't turn corners.
I'm very much of the mind that we should go to the orcs, take the fight to them.
Well, what you were saying makes sense, but I still lean the defensive option. Thorn, do you have an opinion?
We can attack them, and then when they attack us, you can defend yourself.
Well, I think our friend Thorn just broke the tie, so...
There's 4 of us. Who cares what the goblin thinks?
I care what the goblin thinks. He is very smart.
Well, thank you.
That probably came out of nowhere because I said it to her in her brain.
Oh. Well, I answered you out loud.
Yeah. Just makes it funnier.
2 arms, then.
Yes, I have both right here.
Turk.
You beat me to it.
Most of us have 2 arms, okay? I mean, that goblin over there, maybe not. That one, for some reason, has 3. But most of us...
Just don't drink the water.
You thought the one Gnoll had 4 arms.
I thought the Gnoll had 4 arms.
It's true.
Oh.
You need to go
Let's
back
do
to
this.
medical school and learn how to count.
All right, so you set out. The goblin camp empties, and you begin to see 50 of these goblins armed and armored for bear. Begin climbing up the trees and begin moving swiftly and pretty silently amongst the branches of the trees. And they begin taking the same direction that you guys went in last night.
As we're walking, at some point, I want to turn to one of the goblins and say, "Where are all the goblin women?"
I am a goblin woman?
Oh,
Eli, can you not tell?
how do we tell?
Jan-
I'm not even sure if you're a woman. You wear a dress, and that's about all I've got. If I put on a dress, am I going to be a woman? I mean, by that logic, it doesn't.
Most
I mean,
likely.
if you say you are, then yes, you are.
But is that how we're defining gender now? We just say it?
Yes, that's how it works. It's you say you're a woman, and that makes you a woman, and you need to stop.
I call fake
we-
news.
Are we debating gender versus sex again, Drosty? Are we doing that again?
You said woman, not female.
Ah, okay. I concede to word choice. You're correct.
Whatever
Always-
small bird I have seen that seems to be the most common in this area, I'm going to turn into and then fly to the highest point in the town and land on top of.
Okay.
I think Drosty and Eli will be in this debate for a while.
All right.
And my fuse is getting short from listening to it.
Yeah,
We've probably had this argument before.
it is getting a little irritating.
How long does it take
It's
us to
just
get?
a minuscule debate, guys. Very modest, very minute, just a trifling. I may have a list of synonyms for small in front of me right now.
Oh boy.
Is it a long list?
All right, let's just go kill some more.
The opposite.
It's pretty petite.
How long?
About an hour, Jake. About an hour.
All right. So when we get pretty much close to like within range of this thing, getting ready to start making our moves, I'm gonna cast a spell, fire arrow, to turn 12 of my arrows in my quiver to flame arrows, magical flame arrows.
Absolutely.
And that will last for 1 hour.
You're going to use
When
that
this
magic sword
happens-
you got there?
When this happens, do you say flame on?
Sure.
No, it's just every time he
Who's got a
takes
magic
a shot,
sword?
he yells fire.
No, Jake, you were actually holding a sword. I was making a joke.
Oh, I was absently playing with it, and I didn't even realize what you were referencing.
Some people get banned for playing with their sword on stream.
This is actually
That's what he
my
said.
back scratcher.
At least Eli didn't ask to touch it.
I was waiting for it.
Oh boy!
You guys are killing me here.
All right, so yeah, as we get up there, I touch my quiver and whisper, "Flame on!"
All right. So they get a little bit warm to the touch, and you know which ones just reaching back to the knock was to which ones have been affected by the spell. It's-
27 to hide.
and Thorn is already in the town as a whippoorwill.
Ooh, best birds.
Hmm?
Best birds. They have a really pretty call.
They do.
It also means we're in an H.P. Lovecraft story.
It's just the first thing that jumped into my head. I could have said finch.
It's true.
Yeah.
Finches are boring.
Not in Hawaii. And to digress,
No, they're just kind of everywhere.
to digress, on my honeymoon, the one place that we went to breakfast every morning, the finches would come and you could literally hand feed them, and like I loved it so much, I was like, I'm ready to take one of these guys home.
Oh, it's fun when you go into the grocery stores and the finches just come walking in there. Like you expect them to pick up a basket and be like, "Oh, I guess let's go shopping."
It was cool. But back to the story. So you guys are hidden and set to rally against the town. On the journey there, you guys could finalize your plan. Are you looking to stealth in, or are you looking to just all out assault this town?
Well, I'm sneaking in.
It
I
would
don't
be
know about you guys.
for us to be kind of stealthy.
I have already infiltrated.
So
Nothing's more stealthy.
I
than-
imagine I'm kind of like the, at least for a couple rounds, I'm kind of like the machine gunner on the hill, waiting for those that are infiltrating. And then once the action starts, I can fire off fire off a volley of, or a barrage. But while we're kind of waiting for everybody to get in position, I'm trying to spot this, this big old orc leader with the two hammers that we were told about.
So Scorn would have told you that his name is Chief Flamehammer, and you can guess where he got that name.
Brown Bear, have we already had the debate about who gets to keep the hammers? I think it should be me.
Well, if there's two
There are
of them,
two of them, and there are two of you. This is not a debate. This is stupid.
imagine how awesome it would be to stand
We
side by side and smash the hammers against each other.
And
like
yell
could
hammer
be-
time.
wins.
We could be the Hammer Bros.
There we go.
Let's do it.
So I'm looking for this guy. I'm trying to spot him.
You are able to see him after just a short study.
Because if you'll allow, I want to use my hunter's sense.
Okay.
Um,
How far into town are you trying to go, Drosty?
As far as they go, I don't get too far from the party.
I would also like to stealth with Drasty since we seem to have a pretty good combat rapport.
All right.
I did roll quite inadequately, with an 11 in total.
Drosty, would you like to use your help to give him advantage on that roll?
Yes.
I could use that because I cannot stealth to save my life. Oh, that's better. That's a 15.
All right. So you sneak past a couple guards. You've got a handful of the goblins with you. And how are you guys planning? Are you looking to go right into Flamehammer when you see him?
I've got something for Flamehammer.
Where are all the orc women?
Right in front of you.
They're all women, Eli. All of them.
Females. The females. Word choice. Maybe this is why I can't roll stealth.
All right. So back to the question. Are you waiting for Flamehammer and then attacking, or are you doing
let's
something
ambush
else?
him.
well, I'm trying to get to where I can see this guy and try to discern his. I have to be within 60 feet of him, so
You could sneak up to the riverbank or the town edge and kind of like hide in one of the bushes that's there.
19 stealth to try to get as close to him as I can.
Okay.
I'll stick kind of moving along the river and just so I can get close enough to him to immediately and magically learn if he has any immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities.
Drosty, you didn't happen to figure out where his tent was, did you?
No,
That would make
that
things
would
very
probably
easy.
have been a good idea.
We weren't intent on that kind of information.
He does not possess any of those. No resistances, no vulnerabilities.
Okay, good to
Oh.
know.
I'm going to assume, given that information, we just kind of hung out and waited until he showed up, which I'm fine with.
You're waiting for me to come back?
No. We were going to wait for Flamehammer to show up because you're waiting to get the information. So I figured we probably stealthed along and waited for him to show up too.
All right, so you guys ready to launch this ambush?
How
Oh,
big
yeah.
is the main area?
It's sizable. You're in a sizable settlement. I mean, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 buildings and a well in the center.
Okay.
I don't know if there would be any better signal to start the attack than firing a barrage. I think to myself, realizing there's nobody around to talk to.
Well,
I like that.
all right, go for it.
So, yeah, I'm going to do the Conjure Barrage as I pull a non-flaming arrow. And I'm aiming for Chief Flamehammer. And it's the 60-foot cone. So it'll get anybody besides him that happens to be in the area. And it's a DC... what is it?
So
DC 14 dex.
All right, so walking with him, is a another large orc. This one has a great sword strapped to his back. And you said DC 14 Dex.
Yep. And I rolled 2 1s on my damage of 3D. So it's not going to be a lot of damage.
All right. So second guy fails. Flamehammer passed.
So Flamehammer is going to take half of 7. And the other dude's going to take 7.
Okay.
And now we're going to roll that initiative.
Now we roll initiative.
Boop.
Ooh, nice.
14. I'll put it in chat.
Okay.
Oops. Wrong chat.
Did you put it in the YouTube chat? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just saw 19 pop up.
That's funny.
Oh, that was good. Let's see.
I am unsuccessfully multitasking. I must have rolled a halfling 1.
We got some high numbers here.
Man, I got the lowest initiative out of all those, even with advantage. I suck.
All right, Jake, you are up first again.
All right, this time aiming at Mr. Flaming Hammer. I'm going to hit him with 2 attacks, 2 flaming arrows.
Okay.
Confident
that you're going to hit, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm confident. So I'm just going to fire 2 quick shots, and that's going to be actually. Hold on a second. As a bonus action, I'm going to focus on him, and I'm going to designate him as my Slayer's Prey.
Ooh.
And that means that the first time on each turn that I hit him, I deal an extra D6.
Okay.
So that is a 23 to hit with the first shot.
That will hit.
And that's a 14 on the second shot.
14 is going to miss.
So the first shot's the one that counts with all the extra damage. So that's, let's see, a D8 plus the D6 for the fire, plus the D6 for the prey. So that is, that arrow is going to do 11 plus 19 points of total damage.
You should have just fired those things.
Right?
That moves us to Thorn.
All right. So how many people would you say are within a 30-foot radius of hammer time?
Right now, none. It is just. Oh, sorry. There's just one other.
Okay. Well, then I am going to wait, and I will just cast Blight on him.
Oh. What is the check? What is the DC?
Constitution saving throw, DC 15.
All right, he passes.
Okay, so he takes half damage. All right, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29, 31. Ooh,
Megan,
what's
you're
31?
on deck.
31 plus 16.
31 plus 16 is 47.
All right, 47 plus 8, so 55. Half of that would be 28, 27. There you go.
All right, is that it?
Yep,
All
that's
right.
all I can do.
Megan, you are up.
Do I have anybody adjacent to him?
At the moment, no.
Okay, in that case, I roll a 16 to hit.
16 misses.
Okay. Then I would like to use my bonus action to help. Who wants help? Okay.
Me, I'm
Eli
right next to you.
wants help.
I'm gonna go up and start whacking on him too. So
I help Eli.
All right. Eli, you're up.
all right, I'm getting helped. Well, I will grab my great sword and I'm gonna walk up to Flaming Hammer. That's who we're attacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take off my glasses and be like, you know what really pisses me off orcs who name themselves after their weapons, and I'm going to hand them to him. Hold these. Then I'm going to go. Ah! And we're going to go ahead and make 2 attacks against him.
All right.
Okay, the first one is a 20,
20 hits.
and the second I rolled 2 18s, so that's a 25.
All right.
And you want me to give you all the damage at once?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. $30.
30 total?
Yep. Not 30. Just 30. As I just start laying into him with my greatsword as he's holding my glasses. Maybe.
Yeah, he just lets them fall to the ground. He doesn't care.
Then I'm gonna look down at my glasses and look back up at him and say, "There's another thing that pisses me off."
So he looks down, these arrow shafts and spells that have, slung into him, and he sees this, tiny little gnome that has just decided to come up and pick a fight with him. He smacks the hammers that he's holding together, and they burst into flame. He's rolling these with advantage. You said you're attacking recklessly, or no?
Couldn't hear you, Asa.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I muted myself when I went to talk. Yes, I had to attack recklessly.
Okay.
To get the actual advantage.
All right. You seem really easy for this guy to hit, and he just
No way.
waylays onto you, and it hurts.
I've always thought Eli's short fuse was going to get him hurt someday.
Yep.
Temper.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
See if I can narrowly escape this.
Hey, Asa, did you see
I hear a lot of
comment in chat?
Yeah, I did.
I hear a lot of mumble math coming from Ted.
Yeah. I'm trying to do quick math here. All right, so he just descends upon you with these hammers. After your resistance, you take 40.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, whoa! After the resistance?
Yeah.
Holy! Thank goodness I'm sticking to a bow.
I am now at about just under half.
And he takes a moment, and he just kind of flexes after after he just beats on you, and one of the arrows that was kind of like sticking in his shoulder, it like pushes out and falls to the ground.
And he
Does
just
it look like
peck
he's-
bounces at you.
I'm gonna flex back.
he did a second wind.
Okay.
Now his companion with the greatsword, he pulls that off his blade, like, Flamehammer, you can't have all the fun. And since the little gnome is the only one there, he's gonna proceed to pick on you.
You're never gonna hit me.
Is that cutting words?
I wish.
Well,
It's mostly just talking crap.
he could have rolled these with disadvantage and they would have hit. So my low numbers are 3, 4, and 5, and they still hit your AC of 13.
See, this is the problem with well, I mean, this is the problem with making a barbarian with a constitution of 11 or 13. This is the problem with not getting objects like items and stuff like that. Is we can't really compensate for that.
What do you mean?
Well, we talked about this earlier, how we don't get like magical items even though we're at level 9.
Right.
We should like this is kind of one of the compensation issues.
Yeah, I gotta look into that.
Yeah, of course.
What's the
Perry
best?
Afton Hills.
I mean, regardless to say, my character has a constitution of 13 and a strength of 16, so like I don't have really, really high numbers.
Right.
So that's a big reason why my AC is low. Oh, it's Dex. It's Dex and Con that make up Barbarian's AC.
Yes. Yeah, Dex and Con.
And my Dex is a 14, so it's not like they're great numbers in the first place. So, but I have a 16 intelligence, which I use all the time.
Well, I mean that's what you decided to play a different style.
Oh yeah,
build,
no, definitely
so-
went for an unoptimized character.
So you take another 17 as his sword runes glow on them, and he smacks into you, and as this blade sinks in, like you feel that there's something odd about the about those wounds. They don't hurt more, but they hurt different.
Oh,
Gave you the bad touch.
my only response could be ah!
All right, so was that? So that was 17 damage.
Was that with the halved?
That was with the halved.
Okay.
And please mark that 17 separately.
That is. Is that reducing my maximum hit points, or is that just
That 17 can't be held.
okay?
Or at least can't be held normally. You can
I'll just
attempt
make a
to.
note of that.
You can take a medicine check or something to try and figure out what that is. But I think with this guy standing over you, I don't think you're quite prepared to do that. We are back to the top
No.
of the order, so
I will
Jake, you're
not
up
start
first.
poking my wounds.
All right. I'm going to take my first shot against Flamehammer. And I am going to use a point of inspiration because that was a critical fail.
Oh, that's not good.
So I'm going to use that point of inspiration to re-roll. I cannot believe this. That was a critical fail too.
Oh, yeah, you can't even.
I just got burned big time on that one.
Been there.
Double ones. This was
Man, you're rolling like Mike tonight.
What was that I said about not getting Jake tonight?
Oh, dude, don't worry.
I may have just jaked
my.
myself.
So what about your second attack, sir?
Second attack is going to be rolled with a completely different D20. If I roll another one, okay. That is going to be a 17.
It pings off the armored chest plate.
That first arrow does that because I'm over by the river. It does that thing where when you totally screw up your shot, it just goes, "Phew." You just hear, and I'm looking around to make sure nobody saw that.
All right, Thorn, you're up, sir.
Oh man!
All right. Is there a way that I can cast Fairy Fire on these two without getting Eli in it?
Yes.
Okay, so I need Dex saves DC 15.
I don't think you're going to give them any more advantage against me, though.
I'm not worried about you. I'm trying to give advantage to Turk and
Yeah, he's already written you off. So
yeah,
Oh, but if you fairy fire them, I can get advantage without reckless attacking.
correct. That too.
Yeah.
So Flamehammer shrugs it off, but Gartek the Mauler failed.
What? The-
He just goes shopping a lot. Don't worry about it.
that sounds so much worse than Flamehammer.
So is that all you got, Mike?
That's all I got.
Drosty, you're up.
Okay, so per the usual, using my bonus action to help Eli and adjacent to Flame Hammer. Yes. Don't do this to me.
Yes.
We'll just go with yes, because I don't think anyone heard you.
It was
Yeah,
robot
you had a-
speak. It was fine. Did we lose you, Megan? I got no vocals.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes. And yes, I am adjacent to
thank
Flame
God.
Hammer.
Okay, good. So he's adjacent to Flame Hammer, which gives me advantage, which means I crit for 47 damage. That's turn.
47 damage to Flamehammer.
Yes.
Okay, he is not very pleased with that, and he's looking to find out who it was that did this.
Oh, I used my bonus action to help Eli. I can't hide again.
I'm aware, and I was gonna call you on that if you tried to say something about it. All right, so Eli, you are up now.
All right. And he did not get fairy fired.
So Flamehammer is not fairy fired. He is looking, somewhat beat up in his last 12 seconds.
I'm going to look at him, and through gritted teeth, I'm going to say, I'm going to take those hammers. And then I'm going to wail on him as many times as I can.
There's a nice greatsword in the guy's hands next to him.
I see that, but I want those hammers. All right. 18.
18 does hit.
And higher than that.
Higher than that still hits.
Should I roll these attacks one at a time and see if I kill him before I, is he that close?
How are you attempting to discern this?
I'm not. I'm just...
By asking the DM.
Yeah. I'm going to roll my attacks one at a time.
That's fine.
First attack is... 18.
18 damage? Okay. He's still standing.
Second is also an 18. That was 2 times double sixes.
He is still standing.
Okay. Now my third attack. Yeah, that's 18 was my base roll. So that's a 25 in total.
Another
my
20,
last...
25
No, that was to hit.
Oh, okay.
25 to hit. My last attack is 10.
All right, so it's 18 damage, 10 damage?
That's it.
All right, so...
46?
He is looking really haggard.
And I'm going to kind of whisper out of the side of my mouth to Drasty, finish him.
All right. Were those reckless?
Those were totally reckless.
All right.
Make my death worthwhile.
And he swings for...
He's going to clap those hammers together with your head between them.
It'll be worth it.
You won't be dead long. I have a friend who's a necromancer.
I'm still going to get one of those hammers. Didn't say how.
All right, so for whatever reason, his hammers hit a lot harder now, and he does a 1-2 punch on you, and you drop like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, I do. How dead am I?
You are unconscious. You are not dead.
Oh, I know, but I just want to know how much damage I took.
I know what you were at, and I know what I was rolling,
Oh,
and
okay.
I know that I can't roll enough to kill you outright, but
Not with that attitude.
but I was rolling double digit of dice
Okay.
between the two attacks. So he scans the the area. Thorn, are you still up on the roof?
Yes.
So Turk is in the bushes, and where are you, Drosny?
She was next to me.
I'm on ground at range.
What at range?
I'm
On the
on the
ground?
ground at range.
Okay. All right. So Jake, high or low?
Oh, hi.
All right. He comes charging in at you, and he moves, pretty quick, and is able to close the distance, and he will take his remaining 2 attacks against you. You are hit. Do you have anything to resist damage?
Running away.
No, I don't have anything. I was just looking to see if I had any reactions. I don't have anything that resists damage, unless he forces a saving throw.
Nope.
There's not really anything, or grapples me. There's not really anything I can do.
So he comes in at you with a 1-2 punch for 54 points of damage.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe this was a mistake.
Again, there is something that his blows are hitting significantly harder now than what he was before. You guys do see now that there are goblins and orcs battling all around you guys. It is a full on fracas, if you will. You see that the Chief Scorn has turned several of the orcs in this town into complete frozen statues, with the with his icy blade.
What's the? I can never remember the rule. What's the rule on concentration checks?
Are you concentrating on a spell?
Yeah, my flame arrow is a concentration.
Okay, it is half the damage done.
Or DC 10, whichever is
or
higher.
Or
DC
10, which
10.
is higher. So it's like a DC, what, 20?
26
So no,
or something like that.
There were 2 attacks, so I would have to try and figure out what it was. So the second one was significantly higher. So I'm going to reverse engineer that. 22, 32. So the second check is going to be a DC 18, and the other one is going to be a DC 12.
Wait, and that's a con check, right?
Yes, sir. Con saving throw.
Con saving through. Ooh, and I get, because of my prey, I get a, okay, yeah. So I beat the first one. I get a D6 to add to that.
Okay.
The second one, shoot, is an 18. So 5 and 4 is 9, 10, 11. So I fail on the second one.
All right. So your flame arrows are no longer.
My remaining arrows are now regular arrows.
All right. So, seeing you nearly collapse in a heap, Gartek is actually going to head towards your companion just a few feet off. And 16.
Wait, Gartak the Destroyer, whatever his name is coming after me too?
No, Gartek the Mauler is going after Drosty.
Oh, whew. I mean, sorry, Drosty.
As Eli hits the ground, he's going, "Why would you be called Gartak the Mauler? You should be called Gartak the Great Sworder."
Drosty, do you have anything that reduces damage in any way, shape, or form?
I do not.
Alright, so 12.
Oh, wait a minute. I have Uncanny Dodge as a reaction. I can half damage from an
Okay.
attack.
Alright, so
That counts.
the first sword swipe that comes in hits for 19. Do you wish to use your reaction on that one?
19
19 for the first
damage.
one. 19 damage on the first swing. Do you wish to use your reaction on that one?
Okay.
The second one.
No, I'm gonna wait for the second because it really counts.
Second one comes in for 20.
Good. I use my reaction on that one.
Okay, you say you got that extra hit point out of it. So 19. So you take a total of 29, and
I got it.
please acknowledge that 29 is special.
Okay, it's special 29.
It's
It's not.
you can't heal it.
Oh, okay.
Jake,
Okay.
Jake, you're up.
It's extra owie full damage.
Yes, it hurt. It hurts differently.
All right, so I've got Firehammer right on me.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, this seemed to work in the last encounter. Dropping the bow, drawing the swords, bonus action, Zephyr Strike, and I'm going to try to blast them with my swords. And the first one gets the extra D8 of damage.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just going to do 2 straight, and I'm 30 feet faster, and I get no opportunity attacks.
Okay.
So
Guerrilla tactics.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm just flipping out on this dude. Do I have anything that's giving me advantage? Was he fairy fired?
Him, no.
This guy was not fairy fired. No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll this die on the first attack, and that's going to be a 15.
He is moving a little bit slower, so that does hit.
Ooh, fantastic. And the second hit is going to be only an 11 or 14.
14's going to miss.
Okay, so the 15 gets the extra D8 of damage plus the D6 that it normally does. So that's 10, 13 total points of damage from that.
Describe what you do.
I think he just turns into just kind of almost like a blur. And he kind of feints one direction and just kind of does this with a sword in each hand. He leaps straight up, dragging his blade up the front of Captain Flamehammer or Chief Flamehammer, and just kind of comes as he's coming down. He swings that second sword. It misses, but he just kind of uses it as the emphasis as he lands back on the ground with his swords kind of like this in like a total anime pose.
Anime pose. And Flamehammer reels back from the impact of your blade, and the flames on his hammers go out.
And so do the ones in his eyes.
His eyes, stare at this, tiny little gnome that has fallen him completely lifeless.
Wait, does this mean that I just jaked somebody?
You didn't take him out in one hit, but it was a group effort over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right. What was that we said about a fight going to 10 rounds?
Word.
It hasn't been that many, but
No. All right, Thorn, you're up.
All right. Well, since Flamehammer's dead, I guess I'm going to go on Mall Shop Goer.
Malt shop. When did a malt shop happen?
He likes to go shopping. You said he's something about malls or whatever. All right, so I'm going to cast Melf's Acid Arrow on him.
All right. Your fairy fire gives you advantage.
Oh! Well, I don't really need it, actually, because that's a natural 20. And
Nice.
I'm just flabbergasted because it's me.
I didn't think those
Wow.
numbers were on your dice.
I didn't either.
So Jake just killed somebody and Mike rolled a crit. What is going on?
Right.
Right?
Right.
What's happening?
I mean,
we must be in Bizarro Universe.
I'm on the ground again, which is nothing new, but shit.
So
We're just soaking up that Avengers Infinity War karma. It's
that
we've got
explains
heroics
it.
in the air.
23 acid damage.
All right. So you have this bolt that's now just pouring acid, sticking into him.
Does the crit count for the damage next turn as well, or just the 2d4?
I would give that to you, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to roll it now so I don't forget.
Okay. And that happens on his turn or yours?
At the end of his next turn.
Got it. So we were up to Drosty.
Turk, are you within 10 feet of me?
I don't know because I haven't actually moved once in this fight. I was over by the edge by the river. He ran to me.
Okay. Like where?
If you wanted to have had Eli,
I mean, yes.
Turk, and Drosty together, that can be fine. If you would prefer he not be within 10 feet,
Are you trying to keep me out of range of something or in range?
No, I definitely want him close.
okay, then
I need you in range.
All right, he's in range.
Okay, so I'm a kobold, so I grovel, cower, and beg, and I shriek, "No, no, don't hurt Rusty," and give him advantage. I believe that's an action, which leaves my bonus action.
He's very fired, though,
Action.
Megan.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I missed that. My computer's being stupid.
You can still do it because it's
gonna be
funny.
awesome, but since he's very fired, I'm just gonna attack him instead.
Okay.
Because then you get sneak attack because you have advantage, right?
Yes.
I crit. I don't even need advantage. I crit. I'm
Nice.
just
Well, having advantage means you can sneak, and with a sneak on a crit is very nice.
38.
38 damage.
Yes.
You have done more damage in that one strike than he has taken all battle.
And then I hide.
And where are you going to hide? So,
in a water
behind the
barrel or
pile of
something.
bars.
I don't know.
you are in melee with this guy. Are you going to move and then hide and draw an attack of opportunity?
Yes.
Uncanny dodge.
All right. Well, it wasn't a crit, but he definitely hit.
Okay.
Man, that's a lot of dice.
Pray for me.
I did. I said uncanny dodge.
You can't reaction a reaction.
All right. So that is 22. All right. So you flee from him, right? You're still standing?
Yes. How much damage did I take? My computer was being dumb.
22. Or a total of 49 from this sword. Unless you're uncanny dodging this as well.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so then 22 becomes 11 with your reaction.
I think I'm still on my feet. I'm not 100% sure what was actually said.
All right, so if you've used a reaction on this one for uncanny dodge, you've taken a total of 38 points of damage from this sword.
This round?
No, total. 27,
Okay.
27 when he hits you before, 11 with 11 more now. And he is up. Oh, sorry, no. Asa is up. And Asa needs to make a saving throw.
I rolled a 7.
You
I'm
rolled a
dying.
7. Nice.
So I'm continuing to like gurgly climb towards the hammers, but I can't really move because I'm dying.
Okay.
A gurgle climb is a real thing, just so
A
you
gurgle
know.
climb is a real thing.
It's
huh?
a real thing. Yep. I did not make it up. I might have made it up.
This is so weird. For some reason, my computer's looking weird. All
Yeah,
right,
it had
so,
a glitch moment on the stream.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right, so she hid that. Drosty hid. That only leaves the unfortunate Turk here to take his wrath.
Oh boy, this is not going to end well for Turk.
Turk has 15. So he hits you once. My Origins dice are rolling quite nice today. No good for you guys, but so that is 17 points of damage.
Uncanny dodge, I say, though it does nothing.
Saw the
Okay,
halfling do it.
17. That's all, 17 is all I take from him.
That's all you got.
But is that 17 bad damage?
But it is 17 bad damage. That's all the sword seems to dish out. And you're up, Jake.
All right.
He is still up.
So, and this guy is fairy fired.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna double sword attack him, seeing if I can do some more cool anime stuff. And I'm going to do the. Hold on. I gotta make sure that's just not once. That I think it's once per turn that I can force the first attack does the extra damage. That is Zephyr Strike. Once before the okay, that's only once before the spell ends, so I can't do that, but I can still hit him, or try to. So that first one is going to be an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
And the second one, man, I just want to crit once. 21 to hit.
Hits.
So he's going to take. Let's see. Nothing else that gives bonuses. So he's got 6s on both of those. So that's a total of 20 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay. Is that it?
And when I land, I'm going to sprint. Well, not sprint, just move normal speed, but because I'm Zephyred, I'm going to move 55 feet away from him, and I do not provoke opportunity attack.
Okay. All right, Thorn, you're up.
All right. So, does he look like he's getting... Oh, he needed to take another 14 acid damage.
Oh, thank you for telling me that. That puts it at... All right.
I know a barbarian that could use a healing spell.
Yeah, I don't have healing spells.
Oh, you suck as a druid.
I purposely only took the one healing spell.
Man, that's pretty hilarious.
I'm the worst healer ever. Don't ever let me be your healer.
Eli, can you please stop doing that? Your camera is doing this.
That was an accident.
It was very, very trippy.
I am.
All right. Is there somewhere that I can put a 30-foot radius spell that will hit only the mall guy.
Absolutely, since he's currently not engaged with anybody.
Perfect. Okay. So I don't want to hit my friends, so I'm casting Maelstrom.
Okay.
What that does... Oh, man, I turned the page. I forgot. There. Whoa. Is creates a 5-foot deep swirling mass of water in a 30-foot radius. Until the spell ends, difficult terrain, and I need a DC 15 strength save.
You're gonna have someone named Gartek the Mauler make a strength save?
Yeah.
That's a 23.
Okay. I did not realize that it does not say he takes half damage if he fails. That's weird for a 5th level spell.
Yeah, that does suck.
Okay, well, it's still there, and every time he starts his turn there, he has to make the save again, so...
All right.
But that means he's no longer very fired.
Do you wish to change the action?
No.
Oh, okay.
I cast it. It's done.
Okay. All right, Drusty, you're up.
Okay, so I pop out of my rain barrel. Was my hide sufficient?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think I rolled a 5 on my perception.
So, 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, 20 damage.
All right, he is looking severely beat up, and do you rehide?
No, I'm gonna use because he's not very fired anymore, right? So
No.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to help Turk.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide what this guy would do. He looks around, sees sees all the orcs that are dying around him. There's a handful of goblins dying too, but your guys' ambush was pretty awesome. But he says, you know what? I'm gonna go out swinging. So he winds up charging in at Turk. Well, you're lucky that 20 rolled to a 2. So he misses.
That's my favorite kind of roll.
he misses you with the 1. Oh, jeez.
Take him out.
So that is a piddly 10 points of slashing damage.
That is enough.
Did he succeed on his strength save at the start of his turn?
What is your DC again?
15.
He did.
Okay, just checking. Trying to save you, sorry.
That 10 points you said?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yes, that is enough. That is enough, even to, as he strikes me, I drop both of my swords, drop to my knees, and collapse unconscious.
And another one bites the dust. All right. So then you are up. Please make a death save.
I
All
did,
right.
and I got me an 18. Oh, no.
No, it's my turn now. I have to immediately make a death
So
save.
does my help count for the death save?
Nope.
Darn it.
I take it you already got my...
I got a 16 on the
Alright.
first death save.
All right. So
I had to ask.
you have got 1 success. Thorn, you're up, sir.
All right, I'm going to cast my healing spirit on Eli. And then have it appear in his square, so he gets 2 hit points. And then for my action, I'm going to turn into my giant owl and swoop down and try to get Eli in one talon and Turk in the other to get them out of there. So I can finish healing them.
All right. You...
I'm large and they're small. I should be able to carry 2 of them, right?
Give me an athletics roll with advantage.
As the owl athlete. Ooh. Oh, it's all +1.
Well, are you proficient in athletics?
I doubt it.
You made the character.
Holy crap, I actually am. Oh, because of a sailor background. That's why. I was like, I wouldn't have picked that as a druid, but so
what do you have?
18, 22.
Yeah, you do it just fine. But you do realize that you are moving next to Mr. Swordsman.
But I have flyby, and the owl does not provoke opportunity attacks when it flies out of an enemy's reach.
Okay, well then, that makes that nice and clear. So you stabilize and heal Eli. You've got Turk, and Drosty, you're up.
Okay, so realizing that I am the only one left on the field right now and I am not hidden, I'm going to look at this orc. I am going to look him in the eye and I'm going to say,
well,
what?
You could hide as a bonus action and then shoot him to try and get your sneak.
Oh, that's probably smarter. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Never mind. I
prefer the monologue.
Well, it's 32 to hide. I know, but I mean, I'm definitely going to do this way, and I want to win.
Ted, did you approve Megan's Pathfinder character sheet for the team?
I rolled a 19.
The barely conscious Eli hears, I told you she's a wizard.
I know. I seen it.
So,
what do you have to hit? And because you're hidden, you do have
52.
advantage.
27.
27 hits.